So good evening, everybody, and welcome once more to our continuation of how to become a sales superstar. This is part 5, and it is based on a session of Brian Tracy. Today, we are going to be looking at responsibility. So it is a part of the 21 keys to peak performance selling. Key number 7, responsibility. Now, the highest paid salespeople, what's interesting about them is that they take 100% responsibility. What does that mean? They take 100% responsibility for their own lives, and they take 100% responsibility for everything that happens to them in their lives. So there is no such thing as, oh, I am not responsible for this, I'm not responsible for that. They look at it as, I am responsible for anything and everything that happens in my life. So also consequently, as a part of their sales operation, they tend to see themselves as the president of their own sales corporation. And this I'm talking of the typical corporate world where a salesman or a salesperson is an employee. He does not see himself as an employee. He sees himself as the president of his own corporation. That is somebody who takes 100% responsibility. And he sees himself as self-employed. What does that mean? It means that there is no boss that I have. I am my own boss. So that whole perspective of I am responsible for anything and everything that happens as far as whatever I am supposed to do. Now, the interesting thing is that in our model, we are, as it is, the CEO of our own organization. That means our entire organization, like your entire organization, will start with you, and then the whole team builds below you. So you are, by design, you are the CEO of your organization. So if you can look at this perspective of taking 100% responsibility for everything that happens in your organization, things can change. Let's look at some more interesting things. The highest paid salespeople tell to themselves, what do they say? If it is to be, it is up to me. That means the buck stops with me. That's what they say. And they refuse to make excuses, and they refuse to blame anyone for anything in their lives. This is the mindset. It's not about what you do and all that. It's a certain mindset that you have, just refusing to make excuses and refusing to blame anyone. So if they do not like something, then they know that it is up to them. If any change has to happen, they are not waiting for the government or for somebody to do it. They know it's up to them. And so they get busy on how to change it. They just go forward and do what they can about it. So they accept complete responsibility and refuse to complain or criticize about anything at all. This is a very, very powerful way to live one's life. Not just one's life, anything that you do in your life. If you look at it, those of you who have been associated with Isha and have gone through Isha's basic programs, this aspect of responsibility is something so deeply drilled in. Now, this is the beauty of the power of this responsibility, of taking responsibility. The most wonderful things start to happen. What happens is, the more responsibility that you accept, you like and respect yourself more. This is one of the fallouts that will happen. And when you like and respect yourself more, you become more optimistic and positive. You become more committed and constructive. And you become more powerful and irresistible. Just look at how the things followed. That when you take responsibility, you like yourself, you begin to like yourself more and you respect yourself more. And therefore, you become more optimistic and positive, more committed and constructive, and more powerful and irresistible. And here's another beautiful thing. Just look at it. Because of this whole attitude and because of this chain of things happening, automatically you start to feel much better. You just feel much more better. And the result is there is more sales that happens. And when there is more sales that happens, you feel even better. And when you feel even better, there is even more sales that happens. And when this whole thing gets into a loop, It's like what they call a positive feedback loop, and just start snowballing until you become unstoppable. That's the power of taking responsibility. If you take responsibility for anything and everything that's happening in your life, as far as our business is concerned, if you take complete responsibility, you will reach a point where you will become unstoppable. Whatever may be the situation, nothing can stop you. So, when you think all day long, the way top salespeople think, then eventually you start getting the same results that the top salespeople get. This, we've discussed it earlier. Brian Tracy has said this. Now, the interesting thing is that this has worked for every single person who has tried it. This aspect of taking responsibility and all the other aspects that we've discussed before and everything we are going to discuss later has worked for every single person who has tried it. And so it will work for you also if you try it. And that's the invitation that I have for you. There is more to be continued. We will go to the next key. Thank you.